So here are the next questions. Is hacking an act of war? What are the rules that govern sovereignty in the cyberspace? And why are fingers pointing at the Chinese? Let me start by answering the last one. Why the Chinese? Because more than one cyber intelligence firm has now blamed the Chinese state for cyber attacks. Even elected officials in India seem convinced about Beijing's involvement. When Maharashtra's energy minister was asked about the power outage in Mumbai last year, he did not directly name China, but he did say that it was a cyber attack and an act of sabotage. So we come back to the question, are these hacking attempts an act of war by China? Look at the evidence. The hackers are linked to the Chinese state. 12 critical infrastructure entities were targeted in India. And while India maintains there was no serious breach, India is not denying that there was an attempt. It is increasingly becoming clear that Beijing is using unconventional warfare against rivals. Our next report tells you about the Chinese soldiers behind the shadow war.
Red Echo. The world hadn't heard much about them until a few days ago, when China's alleged hacking attempts against India came out. Recorded Future regularly tracks this group. They uncovered a clear and consistent pattern. Red Echo was targeting Indian organizations. This group of hackers allegedly used infrastructure that was connected to a malware that the world has seen before. It's called ShadowPad. Back in 2017, for 17 days, attackers had gained backdoor entry into the network of hundreds of banks, energy companies, and pharmaceutical manufacturers. Now, Chinese hackers seem to have used the same malware to attack Indian infrastructure. But Red Echo is not the only cyber threat for India. Another hacker group, Stone Panda, was targeting Indian vaccine makers. Unlike Red Echo, Stone Panda has a reputation of targeting governments and private sector companies around the world. In 2018, America's FBI indicted 2 hackers from Stone Panda. The indictment said the 2 hackers were engaged in global computer intrusions for more than a decade. They stole data from managed service providers. These are companies that manage the IT infrastructure of businesses and governments worldwide. And more than 45 technology companies in at least a dozen American states and government agencies. The hackers stole a wide range of data. This includes intellectual property, confidential business and tech information. While these were 2 separate attacks, there is one detail that unites Red Echo and Stone Panda. Both groups have been linked to the Chinese state, a connection that Beijing vocally denied when it was asked about the alleged targeting of Indian vaccine makers.
China hopes that relevant media and companies will have professional and responsible attitude and base characterizations of cyber attacks on ample evidence rather than groundless guesses and accusations.
But the evidence of cyber attacks from Chinese soil are growing. Last year, Beijing-backed hackers broke into 100 firms and agencies in America. US officials described this as a sophisticated attack, designed to hijack networks and extort universities, businesses, and non-profits. The attempts to attack critical Indian infrastructure confirms China's capabilities in cyber warfare and how it is not shy of using them. Bureau Report, World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.